report that I forgot I needed to write.
Oh, embarrassing.
For a meeting on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Like, not tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's got to go through a few people before Thursday. So rude. Not getting it to those people sooner. In all likelihood, they won't look at it until Wednesday.
Okay. Okay. Everything's great. All right. I feel like I'm ready. Can you? Yes. All right. Let's go here. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 662, the Fletchinder or the Fletchinder Podcast.
Fletchinder.
Oh, sorry.
Let's do that again.
Mom Brain?
Mom Brain, tell us about Fletchinder.
Fletchinder is an avian Pokemon with predominantly orange and black plumage.
I know.
It has a sharp black beak and a small pointed crest atop its head. Ooh. Had a little bit of a spittle situation. Its black eyes have yellow mask-like marks extending from the back. Its upper side is reddish-orange, and its belly is gray with a flame pattern marking the boundary on the, oh, I can't say this word. PG. Breast. I said it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Its pointed wings are black with yellow tips and undersides.
I thought you were going to say like scrotum or something.
The breast cast.
I need to know what color the Pokemon scrotum is.
Its legs are also black with sharp talons with 2 toes forward and 1 back.
Talons.
Its long black tail feathers are marked with 2 white V shapes. The tail ends in 2 points and has another feather sticking out of the base on each side, giving the impression of the fletching on the end of an arrow.
Yeah, I know.
Fletchinder has a flame sac in its belly, and its internal fire gradually heats up, it can fly at increasingly faster speeds. Fletchinder is known to hunt by igniting tall grass and swooping down on prey that attempt to escape the blaze. It is territorial, even against its own kind.
Bird notice. Fletchinder notice.
Fletchinder is Pokemon number 662. It's a fire flying type Pokemon. Its abilities include Flame Body. Its hidden abilities is Gale Wings, 50-50 male to female ratio, 2 feet tall, 35 pounds. And that's all you need to know about that little bird.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. Let me say hi to Twisted N and Cedar and Kimmy Newt. See, I went right to the IRC first, so you guys feel loved. And the Alawolf and Nader Die and Giant Reggie and Agent Iron Cat and Elfman and Roth and Turquoise Gold Scraper. Did I say? And Swedish Galaxy and Spectre Bazaar and Cercer and ZX Billy. And whoever else I didn't see. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Yes, I see some of you asking already. I did not have the appropriate... Hello, Big D50. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice to hear. He says, I want to let you know I listen to your podcast on Castbox at work, and I really enjoy the show. Well, we're glad you enjoy it.
We're sorry?
We're sorry you have to do that.
Sorry you enjoyed it.
I wanted to address this right off the bat because I know people, or I already have seen people talking about it. I did not have the appropriate amount of time to create the Nintendo Labo robot kit. I did not want to rush through it. Hello, Bella. And screw it up because I know I was saying I'm going to wear the suit on the podcast, and I am, but it will have to wait until next week's podcast. I was thinking about just doing the visor, but I don't want to get it all out of source. You only get one of them without having to buy a replacement, that is. So unfortunately, I do not have it, but we will be doing some Nintendo Labo stuff during the podcast because I saw some people on Twitter say that we should do some of that stuff. So Mom Brain has not used Nintendo Labo at all.
No.
But she knows all about it.
I absolutely know. nothing about it.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
And I last night put together the RC car, which doesn't take long at all. And I was screwing around with that. And since Nintendo Labo comes with another RC car, I thought Mom Brain could follow the directions and work on that.
For the record, I'm really good at putting stuff together.
Can I see the RC car that exists, please? Thank you. So this is my little RC car that I made last night. It takes like 10 minutes. There you go. And you slot the Joy-Cons into the sides, and then you use the switch screen to drive it around. And it was surprisingly more fun than the one I was least excited for was the RC car, because I know it's kind of like, here's how you start doing things, and that's, you know, a 10-minute build and that's it. But it was more fun than I thought it was going to be, especially when the cat was involved. So if you want to see what was happening with the cat in Nintendo Labo, you can go to our Twitter account, GoNintendo Tweet, and you will see footage of the cat trying to block me from building Nintendo Labo, and then the cat being attacked by the RC car.
Today is our manchiversary. 7 years today we've had him.
7 long years. Hello, Massimo. And I just had a great week of watching my parents' cat, Meadow, the best cat in the world. Now I'm back with this jerk cat. Wasn't Meadow lovely?
Yeah.
She's a very sweet cat.
She is a very sweet cat. So I don't think I've ever seen a cat that loves people as much as her. And she's so friendly. You can pet her wherever. Most cats are like, don't touch my feet, don't touch my belly. Meadow will roll over and let you rub her belly. She's just a lovely woman. Catwoman. She's just a lovely Catwoman. And I had a wonderful time taking care of her. But yeah, I'm telling you that because that gave me less time to do stuff this week, because I was over there every day, and I only had my laptop with me, and I wasn't going to bring around all the other stuff. So it's been a busy week. And then on top of all that, I don't want to say hello, Remo, or hello, Zidane. It's Zidane.
Wow.
Zidane.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. I don't want to say I hit a deer, because that's not fair. I want to say a deer hit me while I was driving. What?
Nothing.
What? Why do you? What kind of
Nothing.
reaction was that?
I'm just
Come on,
looking
fess up.
at Kirby like, yeah, this is what happened.
A deer
Oh.
hit me on the way home from my parents' house. I was like 5 minutes away from the house right here. And I swear to God, the deer just appeared at my driver's side window. Like I remember seeing its face. It was just so it must have been running across the highway and got across one part, but didn't get across. Yeah, didn't get across the other part. And it was just like right into the side of the car. And I was like, oh my God! Like I'm surprised its face didn't break through the window. I was like, when I was going to bed that night, I was thinking about that. Like, man, I'm lucky the deer's face didn't come smashing through the window.
Oh my God.
The car's fine. Like it's got a couple dents, but it's not any. It's all cosmetic. It's not anything
Well, the paint
with how it runs.
is gone in a hunk. So
There's like this much paint missing, right?
is more
this is not an exaggeration.
right, that's more than cosmetic.
Paint?
Yeah, because otherwise, if the paint's not on there, the car will rust.
Yeah, like what? 4 years from now.
Look, this car needs to last us at least another 20 years.
I don't know about that. You have the garage. I cleaned out the garage. It's not going to get wet too much when it's in the garage.
Right. It sleeps in the garage.
It does sleep
The
there.
rest
yes.
of its time, it's outside at work.
You know what else is the garage is good for? Blocking deer. I don't think deer are going to run into it there. So yeah. Hello, Wouter. It was a busy week.
I'm glad you're okay.
Swedish Galaxy says, "Do you read me, RMC?" Do you read me? I mean, I'm reading what you're saying right now.
All
Is
right.
that what you're talking about?
I'm ready for this.
My brain, you're gonna start doing Nintendo Labo?
I am. I guess I should put this elsewhere, huh?
Well, I mean, you could like move down to the next seat and do it down there.
That's true.
You just, I mean, while you're doing it, I want you to point the camera at your work station.
Right, so I should move this over there because then
Move
otherwise
what over where?
I'll move my computer.
Why?
Okay, I won't.
Just move over and point the camera towards you.
I got it. In case anybody was worried. My underpants are falling down.
Now, your Nintendo Labo RC car is going to look different than mine. There are two different designs as far as I know.
I don't want to look at yours. I don't want to be...
Wow.
Well, I don't mean it like that. I just don't want to be, like, jaded.
No, you meant it like that.
All right, what do I got to do?
Go ahead, turn the camera towards you. Point it. Keep turning. Keep turning. There you go. All right, point it downwards. Keep going. There you go. That's good. That should do it.
I feel like I should have moisturized my hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hands.
She didn't know she was going to be on camera.
No, she knew. We talked about it beforehand.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the only thing is...
Intense.
What?
What am I going to do with this guy? I need a stand or something.
If only it had a kickstand. Are you serious right now? Jesus.
So I'm just going to turn it on and play?
I mean, that's how you do Nintendo Labo. Yeah, the only thing is just please turn the volume off. Are you okay over there?
I've never been better, actually.
Okay. Well, while you're you want to point the camera a little bit down more since you're off camera now. Great. That's great.
Doesn't go down any further.
That's great. All right, Mom Brain. Well, good luck. Now, like I said, you can fiddle with the settings and everything in Nintendo Labo because, like I said, you're gonna have to do. I've already done the RC car, but you're gonna have to go back into it, and hopefully.
Well, I went into my profile, so do you think that'll?
Well, I don't know. It's because if you go in under your profile, it's probably going to be like, hey, build this little practice thing, which you don't have anymore.
Well, it's too late now.
No, you just hit the home button.
Let's start with make. We're going to make.
You could just hit the home button and...
Well, let's see what happens. First, we'll practice.
Okay.
Can't I just, like, click through the whole thing and pretend like I did it?
That's up to you. I have news to do, Mom Brain.
All right, see you later.
Just remember, if there is volume, please turn it off. We're going to do regular news. You guys watch Mom Brain build that stuff. Hopefully, she'll have an RC car at the end of it. Do you see the big thing on the cardboard? Like the only big thing left. Yeah, that's going to be your car.
These things don't go with the car?
Those are for other things. Okay.
So just the big thing.
Don't do the little thing. Do big things. Yes. Other news. Let's do other news. All right. There's the Sega Ages lineup that's coming to the Switch. It kicks off this summer. It's going to be classic Sega games. We know a couple of them, like Sonic the Hedgehog and some other stuff. I don't remember.
Ages is Sega spelled backwards.
Yes.
I never even realized that.
Sega's slogan used to be this good, it takes ages.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And now you know why. So anyway, their Ages collection is classic games. We know there's 15 titles slated for the Switch. We don't know all 15. We know 5 of them right now.
I just kind of assumed it was Japanese or something.
What?
Sega.
Oh, yeah. I forget what it stands for. I'm sure somebody can tell me.
Oh, it actually does stand for something.
Yeah, it used to. I don't. Now it doesn't really mean anything. But so anyway, there's games from the Master System and arcade and the Genesis and stuff like that. But Sega is saying that if the lineup is successful, they would potentially look into porting over other games that appeared on the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. So they're not confirming any of those projects right now, but they are saying if the lineup that starts this summer does well enough, then they will look into that because they know people want some of those games. But, they're not going to put the time and money into bringing those over if the first round doesn't sell well. I mean, I'm sure Sonic will sell well just because it's Sonic, and I know it's the original. I know people own it a million times over, but there will be people who want it on the Switch, so they'll get it. And Sega is also listening to people as far as saying what games you want brought over as part of the Ages collection. So I'm sure there's titles that aren't listed yet that you would like to see come over. Like, for example, I would like Streets of Rage to come over. They haven't officially announced it. For all I know, it could be part of the lineup, just not announced yet. So we shall see. But start putting together your dream lists for Dreamcast and Sega Saturn games. The Saturn certainly doesn't ever get enough love from anyone. I never even owned a Saturn. I've never played a Saturn. I feel terrible. I feel like I should pick one up at the retro shop.
I had a roommate in college who I guess bought a used one, and that's like I think that's the only time I ever played it.
Yeah, I like trying to think of like games that are notable on the Saturn. What is there like Panzer Dragoon and
oh yeah, that's right.
Clockwork Knight. I don't know what it's called. Toys Knight Clockwork Man.
Battle Arena Toshin.
Was that on Saturn? Yeah, it must have been. I know. I mean, I played it
because I remember playing.
I played it on PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was a PlayStation.
Trying to think of like other. Yeah, that's terrible. I really need to look more into the Saturn. Ben Mully says, "Oh my God, Panzer Dragoon, Burning Rangers, Crazy Taxi, please." So there's some good ones right there. Yes, Spectre says Sonic R and Burning Rangers are my favorite Saturn games. So Burning Rangers I remember, but again, never played it.
Racing?
Sonic R. Yes.
So doesn't the R stand for racing?
The R stands for whatever you want.
I thought people didn't like that game.
Well, you know, maybe they ironically like it now.
Oh.
I never played it. Maybe it's good. I don't know. Unfortunately, we have some bad news from Bandai Namco. They say that Dark Souls Remastered has been delayed on the Switch. The other versions are still coming out May 25th. But the Switch version, they say, will be pushed back to summer 2018.
I have a question.
And the Amiibo will be as well. Yes, Mom Brain?
Well, it's telling me to take out this piece.
You don't need it. It's just make-believe. It's like a fake antenna that you put on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, it's upstairs if you want to go get it. Yeah, so the Amiibo and the game are delayed to summer 2018. We don't have a specific date in summer 2018, just summer 2018. Hello, Fungus Among Us and Rock. Yeah, thanks for joining us. So maybe we'll get a date at E3. I don't know. It's just kind of surprising that it was delayed because, as you see, the other versions are coming out May 25th, and we're just over a month away from launch, and they delayed it. And people went hands-on with it at PAX or whatever. I don't know. And it played well, and there's footage of it, and it seemed like everybody was happy. So, hello, Wouter. Wouter says, you need that antenna.
I'm brand new, okay?
It's not going to work without the antenna.
Well, it says start with the printed side facing down, except
but there's no
prints on either side.
It's a extra one, like I said.
Well, how am I supposed to know what side faces down?
Whatever side you want. It's the same either way. Pick a side and commit. You could look at the built one, if that would help you. I thought you said you were good at building stuff.
I am.
She's so miserable.
Bandai Namco says, push back to summer 2018 as well as the Amiibo. We apologize for the delay, but rest assured the extra time will improve your journey to Lordran. Well, okay.
Where's that?
It's in Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Dark Souls.
Everybody goes to Lordran for summer vacation.
To die.
Yeah, like I said, to die. Like I said, oh yes, and ZX Billy brings up another good point that I should say. The network test has also been pushed back on Switch. Obviously, the game is pushed back, so the network test is pushed back, but it is still coming. Kuro has a top-rated comment and says, even when Nintendo is the first to announce a big third-party game, they get screwed in the end. Yeah, that is true because they were the first to announce it in that Nintendo Direct. They announced that Dark Souls Remastered was a thing. Nobody knew officially that it was a thing, and then the other platforms got announced, and now those versions are coming out first, and the Switch version gets pushed back, sadly. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm very surprised because it was playable. They let the public play it. It seemed like everything was going well, so maybe they just put a portion of it on display that looked really good and was running really well, and they needed more time for everything else. Hello, Rocket. Hello. Yeah. No. Surprisingly, out of nowhere, from Shinya Takahashi at Nintendo, it seems like there might be some hope for a revival of the Wave Race franchise. According to Mr. Takahashi, he was interviewed at the BAFTAs, and last week we talked about
At the bathhouse?
At the BAFTAs.
Oh, okay.
The bathhouse.
That's the only place you can get him. He can't run away because he's naked, so he can't leave. And they're like, we got to get in there and ask him questions. Last week we talked about some statements he made about Nintendo's next piece of hardware, and we got more details this week from a BAFTA interview. And he's asked about the potential of Wave Race returning on the Switch. And he said, you may see that game again. We've been trying to make many games, and that may be one of them. I personally love Wave Race. Well, he should love Wave Race because he worked on the original one. So he's saying it could return. We might see that game again.
I would see that game again.
I would love another Wave Race. It's been a very long time, and I loved the original one. I just want to go back to Dolphin Park. That's all I really want. A nice spruced up version of Dolphin Park. First comment comes from Me Real. Thanks, Giant Reggie. We'll see you later. Me Real says, please, yes, I have long wondered why this franchise was left to die on the vine. I still remember playing Wave Race 64 on launch day back in '96. That game was a revelation. I'd never felt physics like that in a game before. Now I own it on Virtual Console for Wii and Wii U. What a game. Yeah, I remember like looking at the water physics and the water in general, and I was like, oh my God, graphics for water have never been this amazing. I don't understand how it could get any better. It's gotten a little bit better since then. But yeah, Wave Race was just a ton of fun. I really enjoyed that game. I'm hoping it does come back on Switch. I think a lot of people will be excited to get back into it because it's not like there's been a lot of installments. There was Wave Race on 64, Wave Race Blue Storm on GameCube, and then there was a Game Boy one, I think, which I never played. I don't know how the Game Boy one was. I don't know if people enjoyed it or whatever. But yes, the franchise deserves to come back, certainly. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, has gotten a book in Japan called The Masterworks. And this book shares concept art for the game. And we get a look at designs of creatures and locations and characters that never made it into the final version of the game. We also get a look at potential designs for characters that did make it into the game. Like there's all different designs for Zelda, how Zelda might have looked, and other characters along the way. It's very cool to see all the design options that they were considering before they settled on what we got in the final game. So, as far as I know, there hasn't been an official localization announced for this book. But if you hit up our link, you can check out a whole bunch of the art that is that's in the book. So, Swedish Galaxy 94, who's in the chat right now, says that walking city looks really cool. Yes, I agree. They got some kind of like I mean, it could be a divine beast, I guess, or unless. I mean, there's a whole bunch of weird looking things there. But there's a lot of divine beast-ish looking things and designs that we never got in the game. Like there's a giant crab and some kind of like, it looks like a city, like in a dome on really high legs. And it's just walking around in Hyrule, I guess. But yeah, make sure you check that out because there is some really cool stuff in there. I hope that book comes to North America and Europe because I would love to get a copy of it. But yes, Mom Brain, did you do it? Oh, you're not done. You gotta like put the things in and all that.
So the RC car is done.
Okay, yeah, you still gotta slot the things in. Your car's on, Mom Brain. Now control it.
Oh, now let's move on to the antenna. I'd love to.
It's a cardboard antenna. It doesn't transmit anything.
How do you know?
Well, we'll find out, I guess. You're going to try and control it, and we'll see if it moves. I'm going to guess that it will. North America. This week's digital downloads. What did we get in North America? We got, well, not really, April 24th, but it's leading the press release. April 24th is South Park, The Fractured Butthole. If you haven't played that game yet, you can get it on the Switch next week, retail or eShop. It's up to you. This is the standard edition of the game, but all the DLC is coming and will be available on the Switch version, so you won't be left out with that. Everything okay over there? Also new this week, Real Bout, Fatal Fury. These are all Switch games that I'm going to read. Breaks Are for Losers, Death Road to Canada, which comes out on the 25th, Football Manager Touch 2018, which was leaked through a rating, but we didn't know the game was going to be coming so soon. The rating leaked. Yes, my brain.
Push the button before I slide, right?
Are you serious?
I never take them on and off. I always use the Pro Controller.
You push in the button and you slide them up.
Forbid I ruin your toys.
I'm watching and I'm very nervous right now.
I know.
Yeah, the game just, like I said, we saw it through a rating, so it was leaked, and a developer was like, more information coming on that soon, and by that they meant, oh, it's out. The game just came out. Firefighters, the simulation comes out on April 24th, and Firefighters Airport Fire Department comes out April 24th. Galgun 2, which is that Inti Creates game where you shoot scantily clad high school girls.
Oh, okay.
Comes out April 24th, or no, yeah, April 24th in North America. It's been available in Japan and Europe for a little while now. Manticore, Galaxy on Fire, Neo Atlas 1469, Party Trivia, Shelter Generations, Skee Ball, Stickbold got a demo, Super Chariot demo finally came out in North America. Super One More Jump got a demo. The Way Remastered is available right now. We talked about that last week. Hello, Manticorus. Where Are My Friends? Is available on the Switch April 25th. Wild Guns Reloaded. Over on the Wii U is Aquamoto Racing Utopia. Yes, the Wii U. And Cycle of Eternity Space Anomaly is on the 3DS. So there you go. That's your North American releases. Some big stuff in there, some small stuff in there. Yes, no, this why?
What happened?
I went to open a link in a new window, and instead of doing that, it turned it into a little tiny bubble and let me drag that around the screen. I don't know why I would want to do that. D-Dark says, there were quite a few releases and demos this week. Don't get me wrong, I love all the content. It just gets a bit overwhelming trying to keep up. Yes, there is a delicate balance between not enough content and too much content, and no matter what, someone's going to complain. But I mean, with the amount of content that's come out on the Switch so far just in the first year, yes, it is certainly overwhelming. There's a lot to sift through, especially if you're considering, like, everything that gets released. If you're not someone who's like, I don't like indie games. Something wrong there, Mom, right?
I'm not sure which side goes where, because it didn't feel like it was totally...
The front of the car is where the legs are. You need a pal? You need a build buddy? You need an adult? Over in Europe, what did Europe get when it comes to digital downloads? I would love to tell you if this goddamn thing would let me open a link. Why?
This goddamn bubble.
This is stupid. The update made it so weird. In Europe, our friends in Europe got on the Switch Wild Guns Reloaded, The Way Remastered. It's spring again. This game intended to develop associational and logical thinking. By following the hints, children help the seasons change. Children change the seasons? I didn't know that.
Can't do anything.
Well, apparently, because it's supposed to be spring and it's still cold, far too cold out. They learn...
I mean, they're kind of dangling out the back.
It's okay, Mom, right?
That?
Yeah, they have to vibrate a little bit.
Looks fine to me.
They learn the order of the seasons and create a melody for each of them with a little help from their parents and the narrator. Party Trivia is available. Real Bout Fatal Fury is available. Breaks Are for Losers, Manticore, Neo Atlas 1469, Skee Ball, Ninja Striker, and there's a demo for Uno. DLC for Attack on Titan 2, Pick-a-Pick Deluxe, 8-Layer, Liddy and Suel, Yeah, all that is DLC. You can digitally pre-order / preload another Lost Phone Laura's story, Jotun Valhalla Edition, or Jotun, I guess I should say.
Jotun.
Bouncy Bob. Oh, we have action.
Except they're crisscrossed. If I do that, they're good.
Well, that's the front of the car. Yeah, the slanted part is the front of the car.
Makes sense.
Mom Brain, congratulations! You built your first. Whoa! You built your first Labo. Now I can put 2 Joy-Con. This is a bad idea. I can put 2 Joy-Con in the other RC car. Oh, look, there he is. There's the cat. You got that sideways shuffle. Mom Brain, please stop for a second.
Brain, it's very noisy.
I could get the 2 other Joy-Con and put them in that RC car, and we can do a sumo battle. Look, here's the cat. Oh, this is gonna get good. He's like my enemy from last night. All right, I don't know how much of this we can do because it's loud. Mom Brain!
Yeah.
Do you hear me? All right, Mom Brain, please.
What if I do it like that?
Why don't you turn down the intensity on them and maybe it won't be so loud. Hit that button in the middle. There you go, that's better. There you go, that's great.
Can it move?
Now slide the slider up and I'll scare the cat.
Oh my god, he's in like night vision.
Yeah, I know. That's what the camera's on there for. He doesn't quite know what to make of it.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's like really scared of it.
Yeah, we should probably do that. You guys are right there. Swedish Galaxy is saying RC car race between me and you, Mom Brain. I could get the other Joy-Con and slot them in, and we could make some magic happen. All right, we definitely have to stop. Mom Brain, please. Mom Brain, please.
It's so much fun.
To stop. Go play with it upstairs. Then. All right. Gosha is on Switch. Nihilumbra is coming to. Oh, these are the pre-order ones. Nihilumbra pre-order, Sparkle Zero pre-order, Immortal Redneck, which comes out the 10th, I think. Hyper. Oh, Brain, please.
Are these useful in any way?
What are they? It's pop-outs?
The leftovers.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Whistles.
Maybe if you want to customize. On that sheet, by the way, there should be like a little pair of sunglasses that you can pop out and put on your RC car to customize it, like draw some eyes on it and everything. I mean, it's your RC car. You can do whatever you want.
Really? Do you mean that?
Yeah. Yeah, don't touch mine. You can do whatever you want.
Don't touch my toys.
3DS got Dodge Pocket Club. Don't touch my car. Wii U got Aquamoto Racing Utopia. Oh, Mom Brain, it's your lucky day. 3DS Theme Shop got Hello Kitty is a pretty ladybug. It also got Hello Kitty surrounded by bows. Hello Kitty is having fun with a duck. Hello Kitty lives in a red village. All those themes are available. The
red
hero,
as in communist?
I think so, yeah. The Hero of the Woods theme. Robin Hood is Not Afraid theme. Robin Hood Prince of Thieves theme. Promises of Love theme. Sissy the Future Empress of Austria theme.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves theme, like from the movie?
I doubt it. And a Together Again theme. Here you go. Robin Hood Prince of Thieves theme. In parentheses, it says Mondo TV, whatever that is.
Okay.
And it says,
Mondo.
Maybe they made it into a series.
Robin Hood steals from the rich and gives to the poor.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Oh, that Robin. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's about the movie though. Shillelagh says, RMC, Mom Brain must be beside herself with the excitement for the new Hello Kitty themes. Otherwise, it's another quiet week. Yes, she is. She's so excited she couldn't even stand it. She
right, Mom Brain?
All right, I had to run away. I think that I found the perfect
customization.
J2
Blue, I will talk about that later, I promise.
RC car.
Yeah, I mean, you can color and sticker and paint and tape, do whatever you want. It's all yours. Oh, by the way, also on that sheet, Mom Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to the, what is it? There's make, there's play, and then there's design. Or I don't know what's the third one.
I don't remember. I've only really seen it one time.
If you go in there, it'll teach you about all other things that you can do with the RC car. And on top of that, there are other things on that sheet that you can pop out and add to your car. There's like an elephant head and a scooper and something else on there.
Scooper.
Can I see the switch, please? You don't need that. Please, please give me this. Please. This is your customization.
Here I come in. I love you. The mom loves you.
Mom Brain.
Can we just look at how beautiful that is?
Taped a picture of herself from 1 billion years ago to the front of the RC car. Hold it up to the camera.
Can we all just take a moment?
There you go. I like how, like, you're a teacher, and I'm like, oh, she's going to customize it really cool, and you literally just tape a picture of yourself to the front.
Does that go to
Can I see that now, please?
Can I post that on Blunder Ears?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Look at that nice chubby face. Oh, so fresh.
Here, Discover. If you go into Discover and read about the RC car, it gives you all kinds of awesome things you can do. So you do that, and then maybe it'll let you, maybe it'll show you some more interesting ideas you can have for your RC car.
Hey there you are, Danny Fanny. Professor Jerry.
Speaking of Nintendo Labo, we have details on replacement parts that you can purchase. Now, here's the interesting thing. In Japan, you can purchase replacement parts. You can do that here as well. But also in Japan, they have made a website available where you can download, hello, Cowboy, where you can download PDFs of all the cardboard sheets. So if you have a way to, if you have your own cardboard, you could print out paper and put it on top of the cardboard, and you can transfer over the design so you have your own, so you can use your own cardboard to make official pieces. So if you don't feel like paying and you have a cardboard and a printer that will accommodate it, or you can still print it out. You touched the down arrow.
I did.
Answer the question.
I said, are you spying on me? You'll never take me alive.
Those are two options.
Oh. I'll never take me alive.
Wow. This is for like kids, you know. You can print out multiple sheets
and kids at heart
and line them up on cardboard and then cut out your designs that way too. So if you do want to go the free route, if you need a replacement or something like that, you can go to their official website, or you can go to the official Japanese website and get that stuff there. We also have it linked. But if you want it straight from Nintendo with their cardboard from whatever that company was, I forget, you can also order from Nintendo. So here is the pricing for the replacement parts that they offer. Obviously, they offer replacement parts for everything. Mm-hmm. The customization set is $10. The accessory pack for the following are all robot kit. Accessory pack is $10. Knobs cardboard pack is $6. The main body cardboard pack is $14. Reflective sticker sheet is $2. Slider cardboard pack is $10. Straps cardboard pack is $6. The visor and feet and Joy-Con holder pack is $6. And the weights cardboard pack is $8. So it's cool that you can get replacements for pieces and parts. It's not like, oh, this broke on my Toy-Con robot. Now I have to rebuy the whole thing. You don't have to do that. Just the pieces and parts that you need. For the variety kit, the accessory pack is $10. The fishing rod is $9. The house is $6. The motorbike is $12. The piano is $12. The RC car and Discover cardboard pack is $3, and the reflective sticker sheet set is $3. So again,
I can like spy on you with this. I feel like, Brah.
Yeah. Did you see the part where they put it in a cabinet yet? Oh, it's great! It's such a cool idea. So yeah, you can buy the pieces and parts, and they will not break the bank. You could, like the most you might spend for if you were buying the entire robot kit again. I guess you'd spend like $50. But other than that, you're going to spend like $3, $6, something like that. So not bad. Hello, all 41 review. Mom, you are looking at Mom Brain learning about and creating Nintendo Labo's RC car, and she has taped a picture of herself to the front of it. First comment comes, or top-rated comment comes from Almighty, and he says, "These aren't expensive at all. Anyone priced at Google Cardboard? These are perfectly in line with cardboard type toys." Yeah, I don't think it's. I think the pricing's good. Like I think it's totally fair. I was very happy to see that. But like I said, even if you don't think it's fair, and you have your own cardboard, Nintendo gave you the PDFs to print out your own stuff, so you can make it work as long as you're willing to trace that stuff onto the cardboard. Obviously, that's not going to have the perforated lines or anything like that, but you can still cut it out and do it on your own. There's no reason why you can't. Just going to take more time. Nintendo had their second Nintendo Labo developer interview, which I broke down piece by piece, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff in there, so I'm going to give you those tidbits. The first idea the dev team had it was before Nintendo Labo even existed. It was just the first idea that they had that led to Nintendo Labo. The first idea they had was a pair of scissors, and they were like, we could put a Joy-Con on each side, and it can snip, and you can feel it through the HD rumble and stuff like that. And they said that trying this idea helped them realize that restricting the Joy-Con to enclosures helped get more accurate data. So when a player is like moving the Joy-Con all around through motion controls and stuff like that, it's harder to get very specific data. But if they're locked into a position and the Switch knows what data should be sent to it, like it's in a restricted spot. So within those confines of that data, it makes it much easier to get very specific data, and then they can work with that. Hello, Name King Clown. When they were working on this stuff, most people at the company found the prototypes to be a unique idea, but they didn't think they'd ever actually get off the ground. And they were actually making these prototypes with a 3D printer, but they were like, if this is going to become something that consumers can actually buy, plastic's going to be way too expensive, so we can't do that. The members of the team would get together and throw prototype parties where they just try any ideas that they could think of. And a lot of people wanted to use the IR camera, but they were struggling to get the IR camera to do stuff with the Joy-Con being in motion all the time. So when they put the Joy-Con in a box and saw that it was stabilized, the data from the IR camera was much more responsive. They're like, oh, all right, now we got something to do here. Hello, Kim. Hello, Dan. Dan says, well, it seems people are interested in Labo, but I won't get it. All right, Dan, I'll mark that down somewhere. Hello, Neil.
I don't believe in Labo.
Yeah, right. I want digital Labo. The first prototype that the team created for the Joy-Con IR camera was a nose-picking prototype. They made a big fake face / nose. And they did this because the team was trying to think of the smallest enclosure they could test their idea with the IR camera. And this was a nostril. So they made a nose-picking prototype. And no, it hasn't released. And no, it never moved past the prototype phase. But it does exist within Nintendo's confines. They showed off some art for it, but they didn't show off the actual device. So obviously the IR camera would be inside the box in a response to movement and translates the finger to a representation on screen. So you'd see the finger going up the nose to pick the nose. Something Wario would really be into. Mm-hmm. Later after this, the team decided to grab some packing materials from their storage room to make other kinds of prototypes. And they made a tank prototype that uses like a Swiffer sweeper as like the handle for driving, and they made foot pedals and everything. It's really cool looking. They have pictures of that too. They also have reflected balls suspended beneath the pedals that move up and down, which is how the IR camera knows when to give the game data to let it move. Hello, Malik Halo. They liked this idea, but the tank kept breaking because the player had to put their full weight on it. They were literally like pushing down on everything, and they were like, "Oh, this isn't working too well." And they weren't really using data from the gyro sensor either. And they're like, "We got to use this gyro stuff too." They were like, "What if we take this tank idea, and instead of putting it on the floor, we make it something that you can actually wear?" And they were like, "Oh, that makes sense." And that led to the creation of the robot kit. Hello, Drake Gamer. Yeah, so they made the backpack that you wear and blah, blah, blah. The rest is history. At this point, Nintendo started to think about how the idea of actually making these things was fun, and they should incorporate that into the final product rather than just selling the product to people. They also made a music box prototype that had like a handle that you would spin, and the faster you spun it, the faster the music would go. And they were like, well, this is a cool idea for the camera because the spinning part had the like the strip on it that the IR camera sees. And they're like, everything works here. You can turn the handle to change the speed of the music, but they're like, this isn't any fun though. We need to make this fun. And they were like, you know why it's not fun? Because it doesn't look anything like a music box. Like it's a handle that you turn. They're like, these things that we make should actually look like what they're supposed to be. Hello, I'm an effing T-Rex. So they took that idea and they ran with it, obviously. And they were like, well, how can we have consumers do all this? And they were like, well, maybe cardboard is the answer. And obviously it was the answer because that's what they went with. Hello, Paul. Paul, I have not, but I should say, yes, Nintendo Force magazine has a Nintendo Force Labo papercraft that you can print out. Uh-oh, my brain's... Oh, she's doing IR camera stuff. What else? These and the cardboard paved the way for customization, and customization led into the Toy-Con Garage mode, which is where you can make the game do all kinds of stuff. You can make the piano, control the RC car, and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's all up to you. There's so the software team was doing all this stuff, but the hardware team at the same time was also
like Night Trap or something.
Yeah,
the
right.
IR camera
Was also coming up with their own prototypes at this point. And they were looking at the Joy-Con emitting its beam of invisible infrared light through the IR camera, and that led them to create a fishing rod prototype, which obviously turned into here. You good, Mom Brain? And the fishing rod actually became a real thing too. They also made a giant NES controller out of cardboard that they called the Big Con that you could actually play with and control games with. Let's see, is there anything else really interesting in here? There's a lot more in this that I really think it's worth your time to read, but I will not give you all the specifics here. They talk about more prototypes and other ideas that they had and some struggles that came up along the way. So definitely check that out. Very interesting. And news that I never thought would happen, but here we are. Night Trap is coming to the Switch. It's the Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition. It is getting a physical release alongside the eShop release. The physical release coming from Limited Run Games. Now, if you were listening to last week's show and you heard me teasing something for Nintendo Force, this was it. So for a while now, I've known that this was coming out, and I really wanted to tell you guys, I just couldn't. But now you all know. So in Nintendo Force magazine, there's a whole feature about this written by me. So you can check that out. They didn't say when the game is coming out other than summer. So we just know sometime this summer. But like I said, physical and digital. So because it is limited run games, they're not going to put out, 100,000 physical copies. It's going to be a limited run. So get in on those pre-orders when they open up. I don't believe they're open right now. But yes, many years ago, Nintendo said that Night Trap would never be on a Nintendo platform. And here we are. It's finally happening. We have a sound issue. Okay, well, last time I did this. Let's see if there's a fix now. You guys let me know in the chat if you hear me okay now. I say hello to Kim. Hello, Kim. Just double checking the microphone. Fixed. Excellent. Sorry about that little hiccup, guys. I don't know why that happens. Like, we're not doing anything. Nothing's going on. Platinum Games has said that they want to bring the wonderful 101 to Switch. Now, obviously, Platinum has to talk to Nintendo to make that happen because I believe Nintendo published that game. So, Platinum Games, Hideki Kamiya was at Reboot Develop 2018, which is developer talk that I believe is open to the public. He was there talking about all kinds of things that Platinum has going on, and the discussion of the wonderful 101 came up, and Kamiya talked to the crowd and said, we're going to knock the audience participation up a bit. This is through a translator, obviously. He says, there's still Platinum is still trying to negotiate with Nintendo whether a possible wonderful 101 Switch release could happen, but it always helps when people in the audience at Reboot clap if they'd actually buy a Switch version of Wonderful 101. So anybody who would buy that, please clap. And apparently the reaction was very positive. Hello, Santiago. So Platinum wants to bring it to Switch. It sounds like they're already kind of doing it, and they're going to Nintendo being like, look, this is where we are. Let's bring this over. So we'll see if that happens, but it's very cool to see that Platinum wants to do it. And it's a game that I've heard a lot of Wii U fans want over on the Switch. I would like it as well. Hello, Kagero Kai. I don't think enough people played that game, obviously, because it was on the Wii U. And it definitely got the attention it deserved. It was an amazing action game. It really was fantastic. I was so surprised. Platinum nails the action genre, and they just over and over again with every game. I'm like, let's see if they've used up all their ideas for action games, and they always blow me away. And the Wonderful 101 was one of those games. It really did blow me away. I really enjoyed it. So it could be coming to the Switch, and now that this story is out there, I'm sure it's getting a lot more attention. A lot more people are voicing their opinions, saying we want it on the Switch. Platinum also talked a little bit about Bayonetta 3. Nothing really consequential, but I'll tell you anyway. This is from Platinum Games, Atsushi Inaba. He says, again, through the translator, from their perspective, obviously there are things they can't talk about dealings that they have with Nintendo. Certainly they can say, oh no, that's just more about, I'm sorry, the Wonderful 101.
Mode 2 tells you essentially to create a thing on a string.
I know, right?
In case you were wondering.
They say Bayonetta 2 was a fantastic title, and they need to make sure it's leaps and bounds above that. They know that the fans expect crazier, better, tighter action games. If they're going to put out Bayonetta 3, it's going to have to raise the bar. I have no doubt that it will raise the bar. I mean, Bayonetta is absolutely insane as it is, so I don't know how they can keep raising it higher and higher, but I'm interested in seeing what they do. Yes, Mombri?
We didn't raise the bar.
We are the bar. But they don't do they touch thumbs?
No.
Let's touch thumbs. It's wrestling for those who don't know what the hell's going on. I forgot to read the top comment for Night Trap. It's from Vinloria, and Vinloria says, what? There you go. No, we didn't talk about that, Santiago. I don't see it as a top story. Maybe I made it a top story. I don't remember. If it's a top story, I'll talk about it. On the Platinum Game story, the top comment is from, oh my God. How do I say this? Stora Bajkorven. And they say, the Wonderful 101 is such a great game. I hope it gets ported so that more people play it. Yes, I agree. I want more people to play that game. It is a wonderful title. Deserves more people playing it. So hopefully that port does happen. Like I said, I'm guessing it's going to happen. They're just playing pretend right now. Mom Brain, you are a teacher.
I am.
I have a story about schools. Apparently,
I've been
multiple.
a teacher since 2004.
Apparently, multiple schools in the UK. That stands for United Kingdom.
Oh, no, that's here in America.
Please keep political conversations out of this.
It's not political. That's
the reality of being a teacher.
Well, schools in the UK have reached out to Nintendo because they're like, hey, that Nintendo Labo thing looks pretty cool. We think there's some learning opportunities there. Well, have you thought about bringing those kits into schools? Now, Nintendo hasn't officially said that they are doing that, but Nintendo is the one that did share this information that schools are looking to work with Nintendo and Nintendo Labo. So obviously there'd have to be some kind of package deal there and some kind of like a price drop for buying in bulk and stuff like that. And things might be tailored a little bit differently.
They came and did a demonstration at our school. Well, not the school I'm at now, but the school I was at last year.
And?
It was cool. It was really cool. I mean, we could see the application for it, but there's like, you know, little logistics stuff that like Google doesn't think of. That, you know, we would have to like iron out on our own.
Yeah.
But we have like a maker space in one of our buildings, or actually our youngest building. They have a maker space, and this would be way cool for that.
Do you think Nintendo Labo would be good for use in school?
For sure. There's so many different ways it can be used.
Well, Shillelagh says, this pimple. Shillelagh says, I was waiting for this BS to sprout. Evidence, please, that UK schools are interested. Of course, Nintendo would love for this to happen, but I just don't see it. Well, Nintendo themselves said that schools have asked them. So when you factor in the cost of the Switch plus one Labo kit, you're looking at north of £400. And it's not, or euros, I don't know. And it's not like you can assemble and disassemble this multiple times. Plus, you're dealing with kids, so something's bound to get squished, torn, or go missing, amongst other things. Toys need to be robust around kids. It's a cool idea, and I applaud their creativity, but I think it'll be ultimately unsuccessful.
So in my school district, we have the Foundation for Educational Excellence, and you can write a grant, and you can write grants for, I mean, you don't ask just for money, but you can write grants for 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, 100.
Can you write us a grant?
I would totally, not in the capacity I'm in now, it wouldn't be feasible for my class, but if I was in a, you know, a gen ed classroom, like a second or a third grade classroom, I would totally write a grant for this.
Well, as far as things being sturdy and all that in school because kids beat it up, I've seen lots of schools have iPads, and even those have been busted. So, I mean...
Have you seen my iPads? First of all, they're like second generation. So they're like, they just die every 10 seconds. Yeah,
I mean, like, basically anything you put in school is going to get destroyed by the kids. And I understand that cardboard probably wouldn't last too long, but you know, you put it in certain situations and with certain circumstances and all that stuff, and as long as there's some guidance and supervision from the teachers, you should be able to get things done safely. Finally, our last top story is involves Yute Saito, who is the man who created, among other things, Odama and Seaman. Well, he was and is good friends with Shigeru Miyamoto, was good friends with Satoru Iwata, the late great Satoru Iwata. They used to meet, the three of them used to meet up all the time to discuss game ideas and whatever. And we just found out that Mr. Saito got the green light. Give me the green light. From
I'm ready to go.
From Iwata and Miyamoto to work on an idea for the DS that never actually saw released. It was called Mario Motors. So at one of these meetings with the three, Iwata asked Saito what he was currently interested in. Like, what's your hobby? What do you like reading about or doing? And Saito was like, I'm really interested in how things like watches, cameras, and MacBooks are made. It's like, I really like that stuff, like transforming a hunk of metal into something amazing like that. He's like, I really want to make a game idea about that. And Iwata was like, oh, well, all right. Why don't you do it? We'll let you use our IP and you go ahead and see what you can do. So he came up with Mario Motors, a game where you created engines. He said the game involved shaving and sculpting a chunk of metal to make a cylinder, and the cylinders that you made decided what the ability of your engines, or what abilities your engine had. He wanted to teach players how acceleration worked and stuff like this, and he said he also had the idea of having kids blow into the DS microphone to teach them about acceleration, but he was afraid that kids would end up passing out. So he's like, we're not going to do that. But the idea just never came to be.
We need to go
so he worked on it,
tape.
and he's got art and screens of it, but it never saw release. Why didn't it see release? Saito said, I can't tell you why, but please guess. If you haven't guessed by the weird games that he put out, Saito himself is a weird man. So.
Yeah, all those games are really weird. And yet they were all localized.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part. I don't understand. Well,
wait, did he do anything besides?
Yeah, he's Sim Tower or something.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Sim Tower. He's done other things in there too. Yes, he's known for weird games, but that is a very good point. I guess with the Dreamcast, when it came to Seaman, the idea was just so unique that they felt like it could get attention here, which it did. But when it comes to Odama,
yeah,
I don't know how that got localized. A feudal Japanese pinball game that you play with a microphone.
Yep.
It was fun. I played it. It was fun. But yeah, I don't know how. Like, not only got localized, but sold specifically with a microphone, an extra accessory. Man, never really appreciated how strange that game was and how it got localized. That would never happen today.
So he's a weird guy?
He's a weird guy. In a good way, though. The Destructo94 says, glad this game got canceled. This sounds boring as shovel. Keep the Mario edutainment in the late 80s and 90s where they belong.
Should I turn the camera so that...
Sure, you can if you're done.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I should turn the camera when she went upstairs.
Are you done, Monty?
Well, I mean, what else am I going to...
I thought you're gonna design more on your RC car. You don't have to.
This isn't beautiful enough.
That's beautiful enough.
Did you get the antenna from upstairs? It's okay.
Probably works better with the antenna.
There's
Yeah, you can turn the camera. Turn it towards me.
Turn it towards me, raw meat cowboy.
How we doing?
Great.
I need to go get markers.
Oh no, somebody's gonna yell about this picture being crooked. It's always crooked because there's a door right here. When the door gets closed, the picture shifts. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's the reason why. There you go. Everything's straight. We're good now. All right. That's a text from Nikki Hill.
Yeah, why does he always do that?
I know. What the hell's going on?
What was that about?
Her being a jerk. That's what it's about. That's your top stories for today, my friends. Kirby, you play anything you want to talk
about? Not really.
Okay.
I watched a lot of movies, but that was about it.
Don't go into detail, but I want to know what movies you watched.
Oh, well, I finally watched Paddington.
Oh, please go into detail. Did you like it?
I liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as you do.
I do really like it.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I don't know. A 6? Or a 7? I don't know.
A 6! Mom Brain.
What?
Kirby watched Paddington.
No, you know what? I'd say 7.
Gives it a 7.
Yeah,
we can't be friends anymore.
I'm so sorry to hear about the lack of the heart that you suffer from.
No, I found some of it to be very touching, but I don't know. Some of it annoyed me a little. Like the music cues, I thought were weird.
Like the bear. I hate that bear.
I've never heard of a talking bear.
Who loves marmalade? What else? I also could have done without the cross-dressing scene.
I thought that was a great part.
Well, he watched it and he enjoyed it, just not to the level that we did.
There were some parts that made me smile, definitely.
What else did you watch?
I watched The Lost Boys.
Just you've seen it before, right?
No, well, I've never seen it the whole way through.
Oh,
I'd say I've before I had seen it I'd seen maybe 80% of the movie. So yeah, I finally watched it all the way through. Pretty good. I know Do Michaels is a big fan.
Yes. I really like the movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do really like that movie. There's so many movies I got to catch up on. Like I've been talking about with you, just all the Marvel movies, which time's running out. If I want to see them, before whatever comes out.
Oh, yeah,
Avengers, whatever.
What is that, next month?
No, it's next week. week.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong? I thought it was next week.
It could be. I wasn't paying attention.
All right. Mom Brain, you play anything you want to talk about?
No. Just Nintendo Labo.
No. Would you turn the camera a little bit more this way? No. All right. So I played some stuff, and it's going to be really interesting because I played some stuff that is embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed. It's just it's a rough one.
Like you play these games with your pants off? Is that what you're saying?
No, maybe I would have enjoyed them more.
Oh.
So yeah, I'll just start off with that one. So for those of you who have been listening to the podcast, you know about our adventures with Honey Pop, which has been a very fun and popular experience with our friends, where we all got together to play that game and just laughed and had a great time. It was really fun because Honey Pop is obviously filled with some graphic sexual content. But
whoa, what's happening?
Hurry, that's the show that we're on right now.
Sorry.
Oh,
he's
not gonna get picked on like I did.
I don't know if he's on Wi-Fi or not.
Should I not be on Wi-Fi? I can take it off.
Just because we're streaming on Wi-Fi. Yeah, so with Honey Pop, we had a lot of fun because the game, yes, it is filled with graphic sexual content, but we're all friends here, and we've known each other a million years. None of that stuff matters to us. But the thing is, the writing in the game and the gameplay itself is funny, and the characters, I think, are well done, and it just makes it more lighthearted when you're playing the game. So I'm always on the lookout for something that fits into that genre that we could all play as a group because it was fun. I mean, we have a picture that I can't show you hanging on our wall of someone's victory in Honey Pop. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely can't show the picture. But yeah, I'm always looking for that. Like I told our friends that Honey Pop 2 is coming out and they're all very excited, blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, I'm looking for stuff. So on Kotaku, I read an article about this game. I think it's called Mirror. It's either Mirror or Mirrors. And it's a match 3 game with lewd content, we'll say.
I love lewd content.
And I was reading about it, and it sounded interesting, and I was like, yeah, maybe this will be it. So I've been playing it, and it's not right. It just doesn't have the same feeling. It's not it doesn't have like the whimsy or the fun or the lighthearted aspects to it.
Call that whimsical.
Well, I mean, like the overall vibe of the game. Like Honey Pop is clearly like, this is a match 3 game about boobs and other body parts, and it's just silly and all that. Whereas Mirror is like, you play through different stories and they're all like serious. It's all filled, with the same stuff, match 3, sex, and all that. But it's just a different tone. Plus, the some of the stories are like awkward. Let's put it like that. So I played that, and I was like, or I've been playing it. I've finished 3 of the 12 stories or 10 stories. I don't know if I'm gonna play anymore. The game was $2, so I'm not upset about it. But yeah, it's not where I'm like, guys, you have to check this game out. You're going to laugh. It's going to be fun. It's just not going to be that vibe. So I'm very disappointed because since Honey Pop, we haven't had anything like that. And I don't think we will until Honey Pop 2 comes out. But there, I played that. You can go read the article on Kotaku about it if you want. But yes, definitely for adults.
Yeah, don't play with people that you're meeting for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hello, Fro. Hello, Electro Bodyboarder. I'm doing great. How are you? Hello, Shao Dare. I didn't say hello to you.
Shao Dare.
So yeah, I played that. I also played more Dandara, but not a ton of it, which I talked about last week. I played Immortal Redneck, which is such... I don't usually say stuff like this. I don't want to come across as mean. Just the name Immortal Redneck bugs me. I think it's
It's a pretty bad name.
Yeah, it's a bad name. But I would never not play a game because of its name. I just am telling you personally, I think the name is bad. And I also think the story is bad. But the gameplay is what interested me.
The gameplay.
So I am playing it on Switch. I got an early code. It's not out on Switch yet. I can't review it yet, but I can tell you about my play time so far. So Immortal Redneck is about this redneck who's like out in the desert riding a dune buggy, and he crashes. And when he wakes up, there's all these like Egyptian gods around him, and they've brought him back to life as an immortal redneck. So basically, he's a mummy, but he talks like a redneck.
Okay.
And he curses a lot too, whatever. But yeah, he's a redneck, whatever. I mean, the story's
Is it
dumb.
starring Bill Engvall?
No, if it was.
You might be an immortal redneck.
Yeah, I mean, the story doesn't matter. The game is what matters, and the game is a lot of fun. So the game is a first-person shooter, but it takes place in randomly generated dungeons. It's it's got a bit of rogue elements to it. It's a roguelike. A roguelite. So you go around in these dungeons, and your objective is to reach the top floor and take out the boss. But you start off as a very weak character, and you have to keep building yourself up. And you do that by collecting coins from enemies that you defeat in the dungeon. And when you eventually die, you take those coins and you go buy things from your skill tree. Stronger, just more strength, more health, more options for attacks. And you'll eventually get different like gods that you can play as, or like I guess you're channeling them through the immortal redneck, and they come with different weapons as well. So it's all about building up the character tree and making it further into the dungeon, and then eventually unlocking other dungeons. It's got like a Serious Sam vibe to it, and I love Serious Sam. There's not as many characters, or there's not as many enemies in it like there are in Serious Sam, but just like the vibe of the game is one similar to Serious Sam. I really like the game. It is a lot of fun. It's not the usual type of first-person shooter that you play, because most of them are either, most of them are go-through levels or are multiplayer-based, and this is, roguelike, randomly generated dungeons and skill trees and leveling up and stuff like that. So it's a neat little twist, and it's a lot of fun. Plus, you can use motion controls if you want. You don't have to. It has traditional dual analog controls for those who want to control that way. But you can also use motion controls, which are on by default when you start. So you can, use them when you want. And I love using motion controls to adjust or make fine adjustments to my aim. So I might make like a general sweeping aim with the right joystick, and then use motion controls to hone in on somebody's head for a headshot or something like that. So that's what I've been doing, and it's a blast. It works really well. Motion controls with the first-person shooter, traditional controls, at least as far as consoles go, is like, in my opinion, the best way to play first-person shooters. It's a really like precise way to play them. I really enjoy that. So Immortal Redneck comes out May 10th. I believe. I really love it. It's really a good game. It's just, I don't care for the story or the characters, but that's really a minor part of the game. It's not why you're playing it. So you're playing to explore the dungeons and find treasure and get scrolls for new abilities and build your character up.
Okay.
What is going on?
Music? Or
is that music next door? Can't be our house, right?
It's not.
So I've been playing Immortal Redneck.
That's a great name.
I played Nintendo Labo last night for the first time. I finally had a chance at like 3 a.m. to crack it open and give it a shot. So I did the RC cars. Mom Brain, you are making like a Nintendo commercial right now. Now the camera should be on you. Okay. You are making like something that they've made in their promo videos. That is how you decorate an RC car. Look, yeah, you're great. Look at that.
Very nice.
Did you turn off the Switch or no?
No.
That's all right. I charged it on purpose to make sure you could just leave it on and do whatever you wanted. Did you see the glasses on the pop-out piece?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't decided.
If you want. There's also the elephant head if you want. Oh, well, I guess I wouldn't now because you've taped up the front. The elephant head would cover it. But anyway, I played Nintendo Labo, and it made me I was super excited about it before, but it made me way more excited to get into the bigger projects. So I did the practice project, which is just like a Joy-Con holder. It's like, here's how Nintendo Labo works, basically. You make a little like holster for the Joy-Con that serves no other purpose. I don't think. Maybe they'll be used in another project later. But then I did the RC car and had a lot of fun with that and went to the... So there's the Make, Play, and Discover tabs. I made it. I played with it. Then I went to the Discover tab where you learn about a whole bunch of other cool ideas. Isn't the Discover stuff cool?
Yeah, it is cool.
There's a lot of really interesting things in there. You just read through it. And the message, it's not like big walls of text. It's told through like a text message conversation, which that you actually interact with, which makes it more entertaining and I think keeps people's attention better. So yeah, now that I've done that RC bit, I'm like, man, I'm really excited to try some of the other stuff. I guess the next one that I'm going to go for is the fishing rod. But it's a blast. I really like it. It's such a unique experience for a video game. I've never had anything like it. Mom Brain, what do you think of making your RC car?
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was super simple and enjoyable and straightforward. And I love it.
Could you set your RC car up, please? Thank you. There you go. That's better. So I played that, and I have a lot more to do there, obviously. And I forget who. Someone asked, but yes, I did play God of War. I started God of War. It is fantastic. It's really, really great. I don't know if it's God of War, though.
Okay.
And I'm not someone that's like, this isn't God of War. I hate it. I can say, like, this is, you know, when all is said and done, if I like it as much as I like it now, I could say this is an amazing game. And it's certainly a different take and a new step and a new direction for the God of War franchise. I don't know if it will make traditional God of War fans happy, because it definitely presents things in a different way. But just as a game, it is an amazing game. So,
what games is it more similar to?
That's a tough question. I could easier tell you how it's not like other God of War games.
Right.
So it's definitely more. It's not slow,
right.
but it's definitely slower than God of War. Like traditionally, it's more slow, methodical. To the point of where I'm at in the game, which is a few hours. I haven't gotten I've gotten a good amount of enemies, but you know, God of War is like tons of enemies at once and combos all the time and all that stuff. It's not really, at least where I'm at, combo focused or anything like that. It's just much slower paced and it's more serious. It's definitely more serious. The story is told in a much more serious manner. And to tell you the truth, I don't think it's anywhere near as violent as the other games. Like the other games were like crazy amounts of blood and like
you don't see like entrails or anything.
Not so far. No, I mean like you fight like these like giants and they get bloody when you're fighting them, but it's not, you know, like the old games were like, I'm gonna climb on your head and rip your eyeball out and squeeze it and all that. And the enemies here, like there's like these fire and ice enemies. So like you beat them up and you tear them up and stuff like that, but it's not really gruesome. Like you stomp on this one guy's head and it explodes in like a fireball and stuff like that. You know, it just doesn't feel as violent.
What's it rated?
It's got to be mature. I mean, there is blood and stuff in it, but
right.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the other God of War games.
You could
like
probably get away with like a little bit of blood
with the teen, yeah. But the other God of War games, something that sticks out in my mind is the insane amount of blood and violence, like over the top,
and
violence.
also some nudity.
I think that I think no nudity so far. I think the difference here is like in the older God of War games, when things were going on, there was lots of blood and guts flying around, and here there isn't. So like, you know, in an old God of War game, you would smash somebody's head into a wall and explode into blood. Here that happens, but there's no blood exploding out or anything because of the enemy types. Maybe later on that will happen, but I fought some humans and it wasn't particularly gruesome. I think they're taking a more subdued or realistic approach to it. And I'm not like, this sucks. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It's just...
Is it meant to be like more realistic?
In some ways, yes, which is a strange thing to say because, you know, it's about gods and magic and all that stuff. But, war, yes. But it's... yeah, it's just a more subdued approach to it. It's definitely, it feels like the God of War franchise, like very grown up.
which is appropriate since it's about fatherhood.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so far the kid hasn't annoyed me, which is good because he's with you, as far as I know, the whole time. You use him in battle. So far, I use him.
Already, he has like a bow.
Arrow. So there'll be certain arrows that are too fast for Kratos, and the son will have to distract him by shooting shooting an arrow at the enemy, and they get distracted, and then Kratos can run in and get some attacks in on them. But the funniest, which shows how immature I am, I was looking at the controls, and in the controls, the circle button is what you... No, square. It doesn't matter, whatever button it is. But it had the controller map, and there's the button for the sun, and it was labeled Sun Action. I was like, oh, couldn't they think of anything else to call
Sun Action.
I want Sun Action. But yeah, the story is told very well. I like the relationship between Kratos and his kid right now. It's interesting. The kid, Kratos is Kratos. So, well, yeah, even Kratos is toned down. He's not like screaming and everything, but.
Didn't it start with him like seeing his family murdered?
Well, I mean, if we want to get into the whole backstory.
But I'm assuming this is like a different Kratos. Right?
Well, it's tied to the originals. I don't know what's going on, but yes, without spoilers, it involved. Yes, family was a big part of the God of War franchise. But yeah, he's it's about like the kid being like a little wiener kid, and Kratos is like, you're not ready, you're still a wiener.
You're a little wiener.
Yeah, but the action is fantastic. The gameplay feels really good. It's visceral. It's engaging. I love the new mechanic of so you have an axe now. I love the new mechanic of throwing the axe. So you throw the axe and then you can call it back through magic, and it just flies back to your hand.
Like what's it called? Thor's hammer.
Yes.
Mjolnir.
It's very cool. So like you can throw it at enemy. He can throw it pretty damn far. So you throw it at things to break them. You throw it at enemies to take them out. I try and throw it at my son, but it won't let me. But it's just very fun. And they did a great job with making that looks really good. You did a great job.
Colorful.
They did a really good job of making it feel like impactful when you throw the hammer. When you call it back, you really get a good sense of it like slamming back into your hand. It just feels good. The animation there is good. Hello, Hugo. So yeah, I'm super enjoying it. I really don't have any complaints other than the lock-on camera when you're trying to focus on specific enemies is a little bit wonky, but nothing bad by any means. So yes, greatly enjoying that game. Very cool. I'm a big fan of God of War. This is definitely a different type of God of War, but I'm enjoying it. I very excited to go back into it. So yeah, it's been a good week for games. There's a lot out. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't had a chance to play that I am finally getting into. So plenty to enjoy. We didn't do a question last week, so we are going to do a question this week. Well, Brain, we're going to have to... what am I doing? We're going to have a sumo battle at some point.
Okay.
I mean, like with Nintendo Labo. Not in real life. I think I would kill you.
Yeah.
Brain, where can people send their questions to?
I don't know. Go.
What's it called?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Yes. Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Send whatever questions you want. Any questions. We'll take them about Nintendo. We'll take them about not Nintendo video games. We'll take them about anything at all. Today's question comes from CJ Higgins. And they say, how long do you think it'll take before we see Switch imitators? And what do you think the lifespan of the Switch will be? I mean, Switch imitators are already out there. We've already seen some of them. So how long do you think it'll take? I think it'll take now. We're already there. There's some third-party stuff out there and some other, like Chinese companies that are making things that are obviously inspired by, or you could say ripoffs of the Switch. There's companies that...
I became an RC master.
Great job. There's companies that are making... Like there's some there's some hardware coming out in Japan that plays Super Famicom games and Super Nintendo games. but it's built and designed based off the Switch. Like, it has 2 controllers that you can remove. It's got a portable screen. It's got a kickstand. Like, they specifically say they were inspired by the Switch. So while it may not be playing, you know, up-to-date games, the knockoffs and the rip-offs and the hardware that's inspired by it usually doesn't have like top-name games from today's biggest publishers. So that's kind of what you're going to see. If you're asking when we're going to see something from Microsoft or Sony, that I do not know. I don't know if Microsoft is going to ever do anything like that. Sony's usually the one that jumps in on those ideas, so we'll see. How long do I think the lifespan of the Switch will be? It's too early to tell, really. I don't know. It depends on if they upgrade the Switch in some way, like to do a Switch, you know, like a DS to a DSi or a 3DS to a new 3DS. I don't know if they're going to take that route. We shall see. So I'll guess 5 years. 5 lower. 5. There you go. Great. 5 or 6 years, something like that. That's my guess. Also, why do you think Nintendo is holding off from adding Netflix to the Switch? I mean, they just recently added Hulu. Oh, this is old email. Is Netflix a console killer? Well, November.
Oh, yeah.
Is Netflix a console killer? It definitely, those things definitely take focus away from the games. And Arlo on YouTube, you know, the blue puppet guy that talks about Nintendo stuff and also works on Nintendo Force. He was recently doing a feature about that. And he was talking about like how Virtual Console isn't on Switch and why isn't it there yet. And I think it goes hand in hand with Netflix and other stuff like that. Because when you put stuff like Virtual Console and Netflix and all those streaming services on a platform right off the bat, it draws people's attention away rather than like looking through the eShop and saying, oh, here's a game I'll try. You might not be inclined to do that stuff when you see Virtual Console and you're like, oh, well, I know I like Super Castlevania 4, so I'm just going to play that because that's fun no matter what, rather than trying something new you're not 100% sure about. And the same goes for Netflix. If that's on there, you're like, I'll just watch a movie instead of playing something, and then you don't check out all the games that are there. So just having the games, the new games available, gives people a good excuse to sift through the eShop and see what's there and potentially try things that they might not otherwise try. And we've seen it work because a lot of indie companies have been very successful. Their Switch versions of their games have been the most successful versions for them, or the games that they released only on Switch have been doing really well. So people are, up to this date, doing a lot of research and checking out what's on the Switch eShop and playing a lot of games there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when those streaming services come out, because they 100% definitely take time away from when people would be playing games. So just the overall impact, we don't know. But yeah, without a doubt, more people. There's plenty of people who say, I don't even play games on my consoles anymore. I just watch Netflix and stuff like that. So it happens. Hello, the Yellow Kazoo. Well, thanks for your question. And like I said, you can send any of your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
And GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com, and we will answer them happily. Well, thanks for joining us, Yellow Kazoo. It's his first podcast, and he says he loves the beard. Oh, my God.
Whoa. Sorry. When I opened. Sorry.
Are we under attack?
I hope not.
By what?
All right. Sorry, friends. I didn't mean to.
Mom, Ray, let's do music.
Oh.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
First song comes to us from Glitter Bubble 3.
All right, it's got to be Game Boy.
There is.
We're going to guess a Wario game?
No.
A Mario game. A first-party game.
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
Is this regular Game Boy?
Yeah. Pardon.
I love it. Real nice.
It is real nice.
You don't know if it's first party?
I don't think it is, but I mean early days.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, this part doesn't sound very first party.
Yeah. It's happy. It's on Game Boy. Is it a puzzle game?
I don't think so.
Man, I love it.
look.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We don't know.
It was Balloon Kid.
Yeah, that's first party.
Well, that's why I
Is it?
said you never know with the.
Isn't it?
I didn't know that.
I gotta look
So
it
that
up.
was Balloon Kid on the
I
Game
could be
Boy
wrong.
from Glitter Bubble 3. Here comes one from Mikey3319.
Started off a little bit like Kid Icarus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Balloon Kid is first party. I was like, God, I knew it.
Just close your eyes.
That one, because that part that we ended on sounded very Nintendo-ish. Is it Super Nintendo?
Mega Man Soccer.
Not Mega Man.
It's Super Nintendo, though, right?
It's gotta be, right?
Tell us the name. We'll look it up.
Is it first?
Yes, it is Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's got Mega Man and that one instrument they used in later Mega Man games. Licensed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's why it's bad.
Uh,
Disney?
No.
Oh, Warner Brothers.
No.
Hook?
No.
Cutthroat Island.
No.
Rocketeer?
No.
Toy Story.
No.
Land Before Time.
No.
Total Recall.
No.
Cliffhanger.
One more
No.
man.
So like superheroes?
Yeah.
Captain America and the Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it sounded familiar.
Captain America and the Avengers from Mikey3319.
I
This
can't
one comes
move.
from Autumnal Blake.
You will be the one escaping. This has first party vibe to it.
It is the first party game.
Game and Wario.
No, but it is Wario.
Game and Wario. Yeah, it's definitely Wario. Okay, Touched.
No.
Wario, whatever it's called, DIY.
Yeah. WarioWare DIY
I
from
was-
Autumnal Blake.
Just thinking about that game last night because Nintendo Labo about creating stuff, and I was like, I wish they would re-release that game because it was so interesting. Remember, you'd make your games and then you could actually play them on the TV too. Remember, I remember crying from laughing at some of the games I made. I wish they would bring that back. A very unique idea. I don't think it's sold well though.
This one comes from Wired.
All right, so this is NES.
Yeah.
How about Dizzy?
No.
Crystallis.
No.
Solstice.
No.
Journey to Silius.
No.
Oh,
Vaccine.
No.
I don't know. You know, we got nothing.
Cool World.
Oh my
That
god.
did not make me think of Cool World.
No.
That was Cool World.
Never played. I didn't even know Cool World was on the NES. I knew it was on the Super Nintendo.
This one comes.
What parent buys their kid Cool? I guess they see the commercial and are like, oh, it's a cartoon.
From Mario Mania.
I feel like the commercial wouldn't give that impression.
What are you talking about? Brad Pitt in a scantily clad woman? This could be. Is this Game Boy?
Yeah.
Contra, Super
No.
Save.
Mm-mm.
I don't know, man.
Is this licensed?
Yeah.
Is it a Simpsons game?
No.
Terminator.
No.
Goddamn licensed games. People are figuring out they can get us with licensed games. Superhero, Spider-Man. Oh. Rambo.
No.
Cliffhanger.
No.
Buffy.
No.
I don't even know if there's a Buffy. Monsters in My Pocket.
No.
Addams Family.
No.
Demolition Man.
No.
Lawnmower Man.
No.
Dark Man.
No.
Why is that funny?
Because we said 3 man titles, right? I thought you were doing it on purpose. I was. Demolition Man, Lawnmower Man, Dark Man, Batman.
No.
Is it a man?
No.
Ah. All right, we all know. Go ahead.
The Real Ghostbusters.
Oh God.
This next song, so that was The Real Ghostbusters from Mario Mania. This one comes from King Valgard.
Royalty tonight. This is familiar. Codename Viper.
No.
Golgo 13.
No.
The Professional.
No.
Rolling Thunder. Ghosts and Goblins.
Nope.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Nope.
Is this licensed too?
I don't think so.
Solar Jetman.
Nope.
Man, it's really got a Codename Viper feel to it. Bad Dudes.
No.
Karnov. Bump and Jump.
No.
Is this a franchise?
Don't think so.
Aye. Platoon.
No.
Rygar.
No. Can we just end it?
It's kind of redundant.
Yeah, end it. Go ahead.
Give up.
Yeah.
Trojan.
The heck is
The
Trojan?
hell's Trojan?
This one comes. That was Trojan from King Valgard. This one comes from Prat Trap.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
That chime noise instantly makes me think of Goldeneye. I know it's not Goldeneye. Insecticide.
No.
Do I know this?
Yep. Reminds me of Twin Peaks.
A little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. What system?
Is it a Wii game?
64.
Oh, okay.
Conquer.
No.
Oh, I really.
But
thought it was
Rare
Rare,
is-
yeah, that Rare noise. Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That was
that horn noise. As
Yeah.
soon as I hear it.
that was from Prat Trap. It was Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, Rachel's here. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. Wipeout.
No.
Extreme G.
No.
No. Petrosphere. I'll guess it anyway. Winback.
No.
What system?
Cube.
Custom Robo.
No.
Product number 3.
No.
Star Fox.
No.
Something. DDR Mario.
No.
Odama.
I don't think it's a dog.
Resident Evil.
No.
I'm sorry, what system is it?
GameCube.
Oh,
GameCube.
Geist?
No.
Good guess. Metal Gear.
No,
Did you guess F-Zero?
it's not.
I didn't, surprisingly. I guessed Wipeout and Extreme G.
What else is on the game?
Is it a racing game?
No.
Is it a fighting game?
Maybe.
Wait, what fighting games were on the GameCube?
I don't know.
Besides Smash Brothers.
Ah, man. It's not first party, is it?
I don't think so.
All right, go ahead. We don't know. Yet another one.
Alien Hominid.
Oh my God, I
played
even
that.
have it.
It's right there.
It's right there. I don't remember that song
This one
at all.
comes from
Oh,
Raymond.
Oh, why do I know this?
Is this Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Flintstones?
Nope.
Why do I know this? I feel like I was just listening to it recently. Is this licensed?
Yeah.
Waterworld.
No.
Fido Dino.
Nope.
It's that. I think it's that Flintstones guy and the Waterworld guy. I just don't know.
Oh,
Let's try Lawnmower Man again.
No.
Demolition Man. Dark Man. Batman.
No man.
what was the game? That game about the robot?
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
It's a licensed game, not about robots.
Correct.
Still around today?
Yeah.
All right. So superhero?
Nope.
Oh. The franchise is still around today.
Yep.
They still make video games for it today? I don't know. Maybe. Power Rangers.
No.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I know. It's not a game I don't think it's a game I played, but I'm pretty sure it's a soundtrack I've listened to. I don't want to give up another one. Sci-fi?
Yeah.
Aliens.
No.
Still around today. Predator.
No.
Popular? Is it popular?
Very.
X-Men?
No.
Yeah, you said it's not superhero.
It's superhero, that's right.
This franchise still around today, popular, was also on the Super Nintendo. Licensed. I feel like we have all the information.
Yeah, right.
Is it on TV now?
It's not on TV.
Movies.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Nope.
Still movies today. That's Terminator?
Nope.
What the hell do people watch?
Yeah, right. I'm so annoyed. I really don't want to lose another one. Simpsons.
No. Not on TV.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's a real movie.
Are we giving up?
I guess so.
Jurassic Park.
Oh,
It did not make me think of Jurassic Park.
damn it. That Jurassic Park gets us all the time.
Well, I think we got it like last time.
Yeah,
It was
now
on the
we're
show.
back to not getting it.
Yep.
Damn
This
it.
last song, that was from Raymond's, and it was Jurassic Park. This last song comes from Blood Ocean
It's
07.
embarrassing.
Luigi's Mansion.
Is that Charles Martinet?
Yes, it is. He's once again doing the narration for the new Runner game, Runner 3. So just imagining him recording it is funny. All right.
So you got 4 correct.
Oh man, we haven't been that bad in a while.
If you have music submissions and you want to stump the crew, which
Send
isn't
us
too hard
license
these
songs.
days,
Yeah.
you can send those questions to
Questions?
those music submissions to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Thank you, Mom Brain.
Great job. Great
Thanks.
job, Labo in it. Great job, music in it.
Thank you.
Great job moisturizing those hands. They feel great.
No, look at them.
Well, these feel good.
All ashy.
Wouter says, you only got 4 trivia questions, right? I'm unsubbing on YouTube.
Oh,
We deserve it.
yeah.
You know, we did our best and we failed miserably. So the lesson is never try. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Try the
everybody.
best you can. You can try the best you can.
Would you, I'll run upstairs. I think my controllers are charged. Would you like to have a sumo battle?
I would like to
Well-
go upstairs. It's cold down here.
We can't go upstairs for a sumo battle.
Why? On
Yeah.
the table?
I can't take the camera up there. I'm
Oh,
talking about
to
for the
film
after
this?
show.
Oh, wow. I didn't understand either.
Do you want to get the Joy-Con?
Where are they?
In the game room. All right, guys, give us a second. We'll end today's show, or we'll do the after show with a little bit of sumo action. Taking Mom Brain's car down. Gonna be too weighed down with all this garbage on it. Yo. That should be good. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mom Brain. Let's do this. Now we can turn on the sound effects. Dare you?
She a fat bottom girl. I want to have like tissue paper shooting out, orange tissue paper, so it looks like she's got flames.
That's a good idea.
I think they're dead.
Both of them?
God damn it. Yeah, they're both dead. Are they really? I'm so excited. Oh. So I make people wait for a while. Mom Brain, go ahead and knock mine over. I lose. Let's see how long it takes you to knock it over. Oh, wait. Let's make it for real. Oh. I can't believe they're both dead. I'm going to have to charge them. Knock out.
I did it. I win.
Now the inferior car drives to its death.
I'll take yours upstairs.
Did a pretty good job here, Mom Brain. I got to admit.
Yeah? Thanks.
Your right Joy-Con is overpowered.
I know. You turn it
Hang that corner. Hang that corner. Oh! Ah! Yeah, it wants to go sideways so bad. Okay. Sorry, the sumo battle didn't happen. I'll charge up for next week. I apologize. Yeah, I was drifting. You're right. Deja vu. All right, everybody. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.